Good morning, and I am the Angry Cook. We're doing chili again today. The other recipe that I have out there is my go-to recipe, my quick recipe. In fact, it won my daughter first place in a chili cooking contest. So it's got some stuff to it. What we're going to do today is more of an adult chili. A lot more flavor, I think, than the other one. The other one can be a little bit on the hot side. This is a little bit more on the more balanced, put it that way. So, what are we going to need? A shitload. Boom. We're going to need 11 ounces of pinto beans. Now you can either follow the recipe on the directions on the bag, which are to soak overnight, and then to cook them. Let's see what it says here. Soak overnight, and then simmer gently for about an hour and a half or 2 hours the next day. We're going to do a shortcut. We're going to do pressure cooker. So we're going to do 4.5 cups, no, that's not right, 11 ounces of pinto beans and 4.5 cups of water in the pressure cooker for about 25 minutes. We're going, chilies we need 3 ancho, 3 guajillo, 3 pasilla, and 2.5 cups of beef stock to make the pasty. We're going to cut and seed these, and we're going to roast them for about 5 or 10 minutes in the oven just to bring out the flavor. 2.5 pounds of chuck roast. Now you say you're not going to eat chuck roast. No, we're going to take this, we're going to cube it, and we're going to put it in the freezer for 10 minutes or so. We're going to make our own hamburger with it, our own minced beef with it. You can use any richly marbled meat that you want. You can use ribs, anything. 2 pounds of boneless ribs, whatever you need. For the base, we're going to need an onion, a poblano pepper, which is around here somewhere, 4 or 5 cloves of garlic, roughly chopped, it says, 4 tablespoons of olive oil, where was I? Red pepper flakes, Jesus God, half a teaspoon of pepper flakes, 2.5 tablespoons of powder, chili powder. I got more in there. 2.5 tablespoons of smoked paprika, and, oh God, 1.5 tablespoons of cumin. And we're using cocoa powder, 4 teaspoons of cocoa powder. I've used unsweetened baking squares in the past, along with a very concentrated coffee, a little bit of coffee, a couple of tablespoons of coffee. They both act very well with chili. I'm not doing coffee in this one particularly. I may, you never know me. 28-ounce can of crushed tomatoes, 28-ounce can of diced tomatoes, and the beans. And we're going to use 2.5 tablespoons of brown sugar. We're going to use 1.5 tablespoons of hot sauce. This is my own. I made this from habanero and cayenne that I grew last year. I'm doing it again. Hopefully a bigger. I did 2 plants of cayenne and 1 plant of habanero. Got me 12 bottles of these, and I've given it around to some family and friends who say it's pretty good. I think it's pretty good. That's me. So 1.5 tablespoons of hot sauce, 1.5 tablespoons of Worcestershire, and 1 ounce of apple cider vinegar, and 2.5 teaspoons floats. These guys will come back to at the end. We do our final tasting for seasoning. We may need to upgrade some of these. So what are we going to do first? Let's get on with the pinto beans and get them going. So let's throw these in the bowl. 11 ounces and 4.5 cups of water. Blood pressure, there we go. 25 minutes. And go. We're going to quick depressurize that when it's done by opening the valve in the back. We're going to throw this back in the fridge till we get to it. Oh, we're going to use a pepper too. I didn't say that. I don't think I did. Just for S's and G's. You only need to see this once, you don't need to see it more than once, so we'll just do a quickie. Scissors, best tool. We're going to cut the top off, and we're going to, you can hear them in there. We may need to open this up a bit. Okay, a little bit of a chore. These guys are tough, the anchos, to get the seeds out of. You really got to tear them open. What the hell are these? These are the guajillo chiles were the easiest because they're kind of paper thin. The guajillos and the pasillas, the guajillo and the pasillas are both medium heat chilies. The ancho, very leathery, very thick. Is a very mild, more for sweetness and flavor. So let's stick these in the oven for about 5 or 10 minutes. I think we're going to go with 7. See what it looks like. And we're going to start our beef. What we're going to do is cut these up in a cube, cut this up in 2 cubes. I'm going to leave the pan on, we want that. And then we're going to stick it on a tray, throw it in the freezer for about 20 minutes to firm up, because we're going to make this into our ground beef for our chili. If you have a food processor or a really good blender, Vitamix, Ninja, you can do all these. If you can't do them, then you're going to have to ask your butcher or just get regular ground beef. I really think ground chuck, I've seen ground chuck around. We used to eat it, in fact. One of the meats my dad used to like to make hamburger out of. Just get that at the store. This way, though, you know what you're putting in. You know the fat content. You know exactly what it is, and you've done it yourself. So I think it's a better product myself. I do this. My wife buys these really chintzy sirloin steaks, really thin ones. You know, the ones you can't really make in a real steak. And I grind those up for burgers for us. They're better. I think they're better. Right, throw this in the freezer for about 20 minutes. And then that's the refrigerator, so we're not going to put it there. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. What I said. See how they've all popped up nicely? Puffed up, not popped up. They were smoking. They were smoking as they were coming out. See how they puffed up nicely after coming out? Yes, Jane, I'll be there in a minute. They also smoke quite a bit. If you have a sensitive respiratory system like I do, you're going to know it. I was coughing up a storm. Anyway, we're gonna take our chilies and our beef stock. No, oh please. Come on. There we are. We're going to take our chili and our beef stock, and we're going to blend it all together and put it in the fridge till later. Very, trying to think of, they break apart like that. Ancho's a bit tough. They want to go for 5 minutes at 450. I don't think 7 or 10 would have mattered, or wouldn't hurt either, but what it's worth. No, this never pours that glass. Contraption thing. And here we are. He is all set. Turn our boiler on. Now, you do this on the top of the stove. You can do it on the grill, which is what I was going to do. Get a little charcoal smokiness to it. But I just ain't got what it takes right at the moment. So we're just going to throw some of these chunkies in here. Alright. We're going to pulse this for about 10-12 times to get the right consistency that you want for your mince. These blades are sharper than shit, so I'm really cautious with this. Not yet. Oh, that was really smart. Actually, it isn't bad at all. Alright, I'll go there. Do 2 or 3 batches, whatever. Don't overstuff your blender or your food processor or whatever you're using. And do the end. Jade's sitting down here expecting some type of food to happen really quick. Is Jade? Yes, Jade. So we give a little bit of burgery goodness to her. That's it. Alrighty, just pack this down nicely. Again, you can do it on the stove, do it on your grill, on aluminum foil, and with raised edges, and get a nice little smokiness to it on a charcoal grill, which is what I was planning on doing, but doing a gas grill too, but you're not going to get the get the flavoring that you get with the charcoal grill. In the broiler for about 5 minutes. Right? 3 to 5 minutes. 3 minutes. Alright, we'll be back. We're ready. Let's pull our meat out. Here we go. We're going to let that back here cool. Ouch. That's what we're going to cook it in. So we're going to do some prep. Alright, got a little bit of leftover onion. I'm going to just throw that in there too, just because it'll go bad if we don't use it. 3 to 4 tablespoons, so we'll put in about 3. Can't find my poblano, but you should be putting a poblano in here at the same time. I don't know what the hell happened to it. But I'm not going to stop production for one damn chili when I've got enough chili in here already. Alright, get these guys ready to go in. Basically crush it with a blade of your knife, cut the little rough end off it where it attached. Should pretty much just fall apart, the skin anyway. That was a 2D. And roughly chopped again. Make sure you keep your hands straight. Every once in a while I have a tendency to curve, and it's a quick way to lose a fingertip. Alright. Wait for those guys to soften, and we're going to add our garlic. We're going to piece out my ass. We're going to get the rest of our ingredients ready to throw in there so that it's ready. When we're ready, it's ready. Okay, we're going to put in half a teaspoon of chili, red pepper flakes. We're going to put in, what the hell is next? 2 tablespoons of paprika, smoked paprika. Tablespoons of cumin. One and a half tablespoons is 4.5 teaspoons. 2.5 tablespoons chili powder. Alright, and 4 teaspoons of unsweetened chocolate, which is a tablespoon and a teaspoon, if you even care. Since I have all kinds of cooking, I'm going to pour this in there. Get the garlic in. Really nothing here you have to see particularly. Then we're going to pour all this in here, mix it, and I said this before to you, when you're adding herbs and spices to your to anything in a pot that you want to let it cook a little bit. You want to let the flavor bloom. So we're going to do that. Smell the odor difference in there. It really is awesome. We're using this soon. I think what I need to do is to strain and drain, vein. Okay. We're going to deglaze the bottom of the pan with just a splash of water. Beef stock if you have it. Tequila. I'm just saying, tequila. That's good. Okay. Then I'm going to add our tomatoes. Woo! Ooh. And the chili paste. It's right here. Right? This is just looking awesome. Not a lot of aroma to it yet because there's a lot of cold stuff in here. So we won't get that in a little bit. Mix that nicely. Okay. Now we're going to add our hamburger, our minced beef actually. And yes, I am using the pan drippings too, because I know there's fat here, but there's also a lot of flavor. And I mean a lot of flavor. I probably should have crumbled that earlier, but it was hot and I forgot about it, so we're just going to chop her up raw. Okay, we're going to go into a 275 oven. Oven, 90 minutes. And it's hot. Imagine that. Ow! Idiot. Get you out of the way. Okay. 90 minutes. We'll see you back in a little bit. We're going to do a little cleanup, get ourselves organized, and be ready. So we'll see you in 90 minutes. Okay, we're at not an hour and a half into our cooking. So we are going to remove this little beastie. We're going to set our oven at 325, right? Oh, man. Yeah, 325. We're going to set our oven at 325, and we're going to add the last of our ingredients. Holy crap. Can you see that? You probably can't. That is dark and rich and awesome. Let's do this and show it to you. Stir it up a little bit. Smells awesome. Alright, we are going to add 2.5 tablespoons of brown sugar. Brown sugar. One, 2.5. We're going to add 1.5, right? And 1.5 tablespoons of hot sauce. And again, this is my hot sauce. And I do have more, in case this isn't enough. One and a half tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. One and a half. I'm going to add an ounce of apple cider vinegar and a teaspoon and a half, sorry, 2.5 teaspoons of salt, which is almost a tablespoon, so we'll just go almost a tablespoon. We're going to combine and our beans and 2/3 of a cup of the bean liquid. And now stir. You see that? Looks and smells awesome. Back in the oven, uncovered, for 45 minutes. It is kind of liquidy, so we're going to reduce some of that, which is a good thing. Okay, 45 minutes. See you back in a couple minutes. Here we are at the end. We're being summoned. Here we are. Let's see what we can see. And that's really hot. That is so different from any other chili I've had. You can really taste the peppers in this. Really, really taste the peppers. And it's not hot, as in spicy hot. It does have a kick to it, but it's not hot by any means. I'm going to add about another teaspoon of salt. Balance of the pepper sauce, the hot pepper sauce that I have, and that'll be about it. But this makes a lot. It's a lot of chili. It's I think this is a 6 quart, and it's almost a 6 quart pot bowl, so it's good for freezing. So try this bad boy. Adjust it to your own taste. You may want to go with paprika instead of smoked paprika. It does have a little smokiness to it, which I happen to like. If you don't like smoke, use paprika. Other than that, let this sit and the flavors meld a little bit. Tomorrow this is going to be even better. So until next time, see you next time on The Angry Cook.